You ever notice the only people that have morals in the world are those who have never been offered really cool stuff? Yes. When you spend time lecturing others on morals and values and why they do things for money, be very, very careful. Somebody may once in your life, though I doubt it, offer you cool stuff. Big money opportunity. I backed Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka. I don't feel great about Saudi money, but our government's been in bed with them forever. So is the English Premier League. UK's version of the NFL, their big sport. Listen, in this country, I vote for political candidates that I disagree on many policies. It's the best option. It's the reality that Saudi money has been involved with sports and golf forever. You go live in your provincial world. You lecture everybody else on your idealism. The media continues to be preachy and lecture, and shame on the PGA Tour, who lectured Phil Mickelson and Greg Norman and Brooks Koepka and all those golfers, Dustin Johnson, about their personal values and their morals. And then somebody offered the PGA deal, a deal that would keep their stars in their pockets. So now LIV golfers and PGA golfers are conjoined. It ain't the 70s. For the record, I don't love everything about every owner in our professional leagues. What you gonna do? It's a global sport. All of them are. Look at the last 5 NBA MVPs. That's the world we live in. Not everybody's Mr. Rogers. I can be disgusted with elements of a political candidate, of who's backing my leagues, and understand it's about the money. It's always about the money. It's about television. I got into this business years ago. I knew very early it's about the Benjamins. Okay, that's why I don't preach. That's why I don't lecture on this stuff. I don't have to agree with everything, but once Brooks Koepka won the PGA championship, translation, the PGA said, we got to get our stars back. Translation, we got to get our top draws back. Translation, we got to get our money back. Scottie Scheffler's a great golfer, but 90% of golf fans are casuals. They're casuals. People have lives and kids, and your son's got a little league game, and your daughter's got a recital, and your wife needs you to help. You can't sit around all day in PGAtour.com. So you watch the big stars. If Tom Cruise was only available tomorrow on an app or a streaming service, just one, that's where I would go to watch Mission Impossible 13. I'd go to the app. I'd go to the streaming service, regardless of who owned it. I wouldn't have to love who owned it, but I'm not going to sit up here and preach and be a hypocrite when somebody eventually offers me money. I said from the very beginning, I would struggle to take the money from the LIV Golf Tour. But if it became $200 and $300 million, you don't think I'm going to sit down with my wife? I'm not going to have a glass of vino and discuss it? Oh, give me a break. The PGA Tour got into the lecture business, the moral business, the values business. Give me a break. In the end, they want their stars back. Listen, I turn on a television, I watch Brooks Koepka. I love Greg Norman. I love Jack Nicholson. Tiger Woods doesn't play enough. Golf lost its golden goose. They got to get their draw back. I love Jordan Spieth. He didn't get me to a television. I love a lot of actors. They don't get me into a theater. So I say this. The only people that are only right on the internet are anonymous. Isn't that a coincidence? They're always right. And the only people with morals and values in the world are never offered big money or enormous opportunities. I don't have to love the LIV Golf Tour and everything it stands for. By the way, I was offered 6 figures to do some reads for the LIV Golf Tour. I didn't accept it. But I didn't badmouth other hosts that did. That's the difference. I was offered 6 figures to do stuff with LIV Golf. I was invited to tournaments. I said, no, thank you. But I didn't lecture sportscasters that did. I didn't lecture anybody that did. I'm not in their shoes. I don't pay their taxes. I don't have their life. I don't know what's going on. Stop lecturing. Politicians, golf tours, stop lecturing us. When people get great opportunities, I'm not in your shoes. I don't know what it means to your family. Maybe get your kids to college. I don't know. You don't know. Years ago, I had a boss, Mike Cutler. He was a news director. And we were talking about something, and I was getting real preachy and being a young, journalist. And he said, what's your favorite candy bar? And I said, Kit Kat. He goes, do you like Three Musketeers? And I'm like, yeah, it just never worked for me. He goes, what if I told you the guy that created Kit Kat's the worst human being in the world? Would you stop eating it? Oh, I'd probably eat it. He goes, there you go. You think you know, and you don't know. I remember listening to all the people preaching about Tiger Woods' lifestyle choices. I didn't like what he did with his marriage. I totally disagree with it. But it's just what you knew. It's the golf marriage you heard about. Stop pretending you know. I don't have to love every candidate I vote for or every owner of every team. But when people start preaching morals and values, I want to barf. Good. This is a win for fans. I want to watch Brooks Koepka. I want to see him in a tournament next week. If you told me 7 days from now I get Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson, Rory McIlroy, whoever, 10 days from now on a great golf course, Pebble Beach, they all line up, PGA LIV, have a big tour. You know who's watching? I'm watching. I'm watching. And I don't have to love everything about Saudi Arabia, but they've been involved in this country and in global sports forever. If you don't want to ever watch golf again, I get it. I get it. I'm not telling you you're wrong. But don't tell golfers when our government's in bed with Saudi Arabia, don't tell individual golfers they can't accept $200 million to hit a golf ball. By the way, golf was the last entertainment entity in America that didn't understand a basic content. Basic context. We watch all this stuff for stars. We watch for Beyonce. We watch for Tom Cruise and Denzel. That's what we watch for. Even college basketball and football have figured it out with the NIL. You got to pay the quarterback, the shooting guard. You got to pay him 7 figures in college. Forever College and the NCAA stood their moral high ground. Forever. You got all these kids in college football running around, ending their football careers at 19 years old. You're not going to pay them? For years and years, I watched the NCAA. And by the way, I was doing it 20 years ago, too. I got into my preachy self. You can't pay the kids. What about the education? Then I came to terms with it. Get over myself. Pay the players. Pay the kids. And especially pay the quarterback in college football or the star guard in college basketball. Again, if you're disgusted with this today, I'm not telling you you shouldn't be. But when I listened to the PGA 6 months ago, lawsuits, morals, values, stop it. The bottom line, you signed up for this today. You want to know why? Money. The same reason your Phils and your Brooks and your Dustins, $200 million. You wouldn't sit down and think about it? You're kidding yourself. You're kidding a lot of people, and the PGA was. I'm off my soapbox. There you go.